Metroid Prime released in 2002 on the GameCube, and in this video I'm going to 100% complete the Switch remaster. To achieve 100%, I'll have to scour the planet of Talon 4, searching for items to upgrade Samus, slowly scan enemies, Chozo lore, and artifacts. There's even more to do, such as a hard mode, but you get the gist. The main goal is to have 100% next to my save file and have displayed all 185 items in my galleries. Step 1 was to play through the game on normal mode. We're not going to do casual, we're going to do normal difficulty. During this playthrough, I wanted to look out for as many scans and upgrades as possible, but not look too much up online to spoil myself for my first playthrough. Beating normal mode also unlocks hard mode, which I was required to play for 100% completion, so I had that to look forward to as well. The game starts with Samus landing on a space pirate ship to investigate a distress call. During this tutorial section, I got a feel for how the game controls and scanned my first object. The game also let me try out some abilities like the morph ball and the grapple. Okay, that's kinda cool. I didn't know Samus could grapple. I didn't get to keep these abilities for long though. After I got deeper into the ship, I found the Parasite Queen. This was my first mini-boss, and I had to make sure I scanned her. This takes a long time to scan, there we go. Yep, this is the Parasite Queen. If you fail to scan these bosses the first time around, you don't get another chance. I had to remember to scan them if I wanted to save a little bit of time. The fight was fun and pretty easy. It teaches you how to dash, and scanning it tells you its weakness. Weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. After the boss was defeated, the whole ship started to explode. I had 7 minutes to escape, so I got a move on. These little creatures kept trying to stop me, but I got through. They're covering my screen and stuff. After remembering to scan them, of course. While escaping, Samus ended up losing all of her abilities, which means we've got to find them all again. No! Oh, I'm gonna lose all my abilities? No way. I can't turn into the morph ball anymore. After chasing Meta Ridley down, Samus lands on the planet of Talon 4. One part of the game that really surprised me was the graphics. I couldn't believe I was playing a GameCube game. The first area is the Talon overworld, and from there I made my way to the Chozo ruins. After a bit of exploring, I found the missile launcher. But first, I had to fight a boss to get it. Hey, give me that. He kept sending these war wasps at me, which I actually forgot to scan, but I managed to defeat him. With the missile launcher now obtained, I could open up new doors and explore parts of the map I couldn't before. That's the general gameplay loop of a Metroid game. You obtain new items, which open up new areas on a single interconnected map. It's really fun to find new areas and secrets. Finding secret missile expansions is also a lot of fun. There's a couple where I had to blow up part of the wall to get to it, and it's pretty rewarding finding these. Look at that. That's a good little secret. What I also have to look out for while exploring are health tanks. These give Samus an extra 100 hit points and are pretty useful, especially when we get to hard mode. With my new missiles, I kept on exploring, noticing places where I could use the morph ball. I tried to keep these in mind. Eventually, I found a room with the morph ball upgrade in sight, but of course, it wasn't that simple. A plated beetle popped up, and after scanning it, I learned its weakness and made quick work of it. With the morph ball now available, working my way around this map has become a bit easier, as I can just roll through some long hallways. A lot of the Chozo ruins were accessible now. I'll have to come back to a lot of these rooms later though, as I'll be able to use upgrades I get later on in the game to find even more secrets. As I got deeper in the ruins, there's a lot more water, which if you fall in it pretty quickly kills you because of the poison. I actually almost died to this. To purify the water, I have to defeat Flagra, the source of the poison. For some reason, this boss gave me some trouble, even in normal mode. I struggled to avoid some of its attacks, and my health would fall pretty quickly. It's sort of like that one level from Mario Sunshine, with the cataquacks, because of those light panels. You have to turn the lights towards the boss, and you have to gradually turn even more light panels towards it as the fight goes on. Then, using the morph ball, you place a bomb and deal some damage. Once I'd finally defeated the boss, I unlocked a new suit for Samus, the Varia suit. This is the iconic suit that's on the box art and allows Samus to survive in warm places. This was useful as the next area, the Magmore Caverns, was basically a volcano. The new suit isn't resistant to lava, which I quickly discovered. Because of this death, I had to replay a bit of the game again, as there's no autosaves. And then once I'd finally beaten the boss again, I realised I forgot to scan it. so I decided to replay that part again, making sure that I scanned everything. I guess this was good training for hard mode though. Once I made it back to the Magmore caverns, I was very careful not to fall in the lava again, but I did have some close calls. The next area was the Fendrana Drifts, and the atmosphere of this place was great. It's got like a snowy, icy theme, and was a lot different to the claustrophobic Magmore caverns. I made sure to scan the infamous Shriek Bats, that just straight up do not respawn once you kill them. The Boost Ball was the unlock that I had to find here, which allows me to build up some speed while in Morph Ball mode. My mobility will be improved with this, and it allows me to explore even more new areas. The space boots are also useful in this aspect. You wouldn't think it, but a double jump completely changes how you handle certain areas. I could jump over enemies and skip a bit of platforming. It was awesome. Eventually, I ran into my first actual Metroid in this game, which was pretty cool. Finally, I've been playing this game and there's finally a Metroid. Wait, only way to shake and attach Talon Metroid is to enter Morph Ball mode and lay a bomb. Am I going to have to fight these things? And I also found the gravity suit to go with those boots. Got the gravity suit. Shortly after this was a pretty big difficulty spike when I reached a certain area. With the gravity suit, I could freely move underwater, and I really enjoyed navigating through this part of the map. This is so fun, just jumping around in the water on like this angle. It's actually a lot of fun. After I got through this area, I made it to the Phazon Mines. At the start the area was fine, and I sort of mindlessly shot at everything, not really caring about losing too much health, as I was used to pretty frequent save points. This was a very dumb idea, as I died after playing through a good chunk of the area. I realised that at this point I had to get good, if I even wanted to think of playing through this game on hard mode. I started to combine the ice beam with missiles to take out enemies easier. And I also realised that I'd completely missed a save point which would have made life a lot easier. There was a save room right here, but really, once I learned how to defeat enemies a bit more efficiently, it got easier. I was still pretty scared of hard mode at this point though. With that area completed, I carried on my first playthrough of the game, backtracking through areas to open new doors and collecting even more new upgrades. I was also trying to keep my eye open for any artifacts and other collectibles as well. I also got the final suit, being the Phazon suit, which looks sick and it gives 50% damage reduction and protection from the blue radiation. What I didn't realise was that the artifacts are 100% required to finish the game. This basically means that you have to follow the hints and find all of the artifacts in the different areas. There's only 12 to find, and the map is pretty small once you know where you're going, so this doesn't take too long. After collecting all of these artifacts, Meta Ridley attacked. I was expecting this fight to be a lot harder to be honest, but it really isn't that bad once you learn how to avoid his attacks. After beating Ridley, a final new area unlocked, which held the final boss, Metroid Prime. This was actually a pretty fun boss fight. I wouldn't say any of the other bosses in this game were that fun, but this one kinda was. It had me using all of the types of beams, and it had a second phase as well. The way you beat it is to go into the pool of Phazon and blast the Metroid Prime in hyper mode. Once I'd beaten the boss, Samus escaped, and I'd finished the game. I missed a lot of the items and scans during my initial playthrough, so I went back into that save file and collected almost everything. The missile expansions were a bit of a pain though. I used a guide to find all of the ones I was missing, but one took me forever to find. But eventually, I found it. I finally found this last missile. I'm going to pick this up and it should be 250. Yes! Okay, now I just need to find a couple more things and I'll be at 100% item completion. The worst part about the missiles though, is that the game doesn't tell you which ones you're missing. You have to guess which ones you already have, just based on memory. I only had a couple of scans left to fill the logbook, but luckily all of your scans carry over to your next game in the save file, so I plan to get them on my hard mode playthrough. Speaking of which, to unlock the final extras and 100% complete the game, a playthrough on hard was required. Okay, now it's time to do hard mode. I got 100% completion, so I'm pretty sure, yeah, if I just press hard here, the new game should begin and all my scans carry over, so I just have to get the ones I missed. I was expecting this to be extremely difficult, but it wasn't too bad. Once you know where you're going and how to defeat certain enemies, the game goes by pretty quickly. While playing, I looked out for my missing scans and got them, and after a fight with Metroid Prime again, yes, that should be the boss defeated now. Hard mode was complete, and the game was finished. I went onto the menu, and there it was. My gallery was complete, and I'd obtained all 185 items. Yes, 185 out of 185. That is Metroid Prime Remastered, 100% completed, finally. This was a lot of fun. This took me about 45 hours to complete, but it definitely felt faster than that. I definitely recommend playing this game whether to 100% complete it or not. It was a lot of fun. This game was thankfully nowhere near as grindy as Yoshi's Crafted World, which you can watch by clicking here.